What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 136, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Jason Davidson has indeed left the club. He's gone to Watford. It took a long time to sell him, and it just goes to show you, I have so many players on the transfer list and the loan list, but barely ever any bids come in. But regardless, he has gone to Watford, and there you go. And also, Kyle Walker is wanted by Hull City, but as I've mentioned, I don't really see the point in selling him because he's a totally fine backup right back. And also, Salvio is wanted by Louis van Gaal at Manchester United. The Dutch manager says, you've taken two of our players in Di Maria and Rooney, let me take one of yours. I asked for £30 million, and they said yes. They said, okay, we'll match £30 million, which to me is a pretty decent deal because, as you can see, Walker's not going to hold there as they don't match our counter offer. Steve Bruce says it's too much. £30 million to me is a pretty decent deal. Now, I know he's an 83 rated winger, and he's a perfectly acceptable player to have on the bench, but don't forget, we signed this guy for free on a pre-contract, and £30 million, I know that players are more overpriced in this year's career mode, which is good, but even so, it's still a very decent fee for us, so we're going to have to try and replace him to put another player on the bench. But even so, I'm totally fine with him going. That doesn't really bother me too much. £30 million is a totally acceptable fee. I would have accepted £25 million, so £30 million is totally fine with me, as he looks like he's on his way to Manchester United. So he's on his way, most likely. But we take on Sevilla for the first and only game of today's episode here, and we took the lead just 4 minutes in, and by Niang making it 2 goals in 2 games there, as he finesses the ball into the corner and makes it 1-0. So taking on the Spanish side, who were the Europa League winners last year, as we take them on in the Super Cup here. Niang getting the goal just 3 minutes in, and a really good ball as well by Wayne Rooney. I've said already a few times now, I'm hoping that Rooney and Niang could play the well Rooney and Sturridge did in the World Cup, where Rooney spreads balls forward and Niang runs onto them, and that's exactly what happened there. So 1-0 to West Brom, Niang getting the goal, and we are already in front here. And just past half an hour mark, Rooney's on the ball again and plays it through towards Niang for a second time, and as you can see, Niang fake shots around his man, fakes a drag back, shoots, finds the back of the net and makes it 2-0, and for the second time it's Rooney playing the ball forward and Niang getting the goal. So those two, I really do feel as though that partnership is going to work so well, and as Niang does make it 2-0 there, the team can celebrate. And it was a really nice goal by Niang as well. I felt as though once the defender caught up, I was going to struggle to get past him, but it was a bit of a fake drag back there. He didn't actually drag the ball back, just moved forwards, and he smashed the ball in at the near post and made it West Brom 2, Sevilla 0. So 2 goals up in this game, as the Champions League holders look as though they are on course to beat the Europa League holders here in this Super Cup. So 2-0, but in the 45th minute, almost a comical goal for Sevilla to score there, as I gave the ball away stupidly, and eventually the volley at the far post as well, saved by Hart, and we got the ball away. So still 2-0, but that was really Sevilla's only chance of the game. And just 5 minutes after the restart, Wayne Rooney almost made it 3-0 there, as his header hits the post and Sevilla cleared the ball away. So still 2-0, but really it was all us threatening in this game. But 10 minutes before the end of the game, Sevilla would grab themselves a goal back. It came through Gamero there, as the cross from the right hand side was headed in by the French forward in the centre. Really poor goal to concede, to be honest, as Gamero goes crazy there, because the cross was quite a routine one into the box there. Nothing too, special. And at the far post, 2 players there, Sane and Kyle Walker, both missing the header there, and in the end it was a simple finish. So 2-0, Kevin Gamero gets the goal, 2-1 even, and Sevilla are back in the game. And in the 89th minute here, as Sane wins his header, it's cleared away. Ava Banega gets onto the ball and finds his man, who ends up getting past Salvio, playing the ball forward, and as Joe Hart comes, he gets caught in no man's land, and it's West Brom 2, Sevilla 2, and with just a few seconds to go before the 90th minute, Sevilla grabbed themselves the equaliser and come from 2 goals down. Don't ask me to pronounce that name. Come from 2 goals down to level the score and make it 2-2, and it could have been 3-2 as well in stoppage time here, as they go down this left hand side, play it to Ava Banega, and his shot goes just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So final score, West Brom 2, Sevilla 2, and we go into extra time here in the Super Cup. And I was just livid because the game was under our control for the entire game. And in the last 10 minutes, Sevilla have a late flurry of chances and they score 2 goals. So really disappointing. In extra time here, Joe Hart had to make a save 6 minutes in to keep it at 2-2 and keep the score level. So good stop by our goalkeeper there, as it is still 2-2. And from the corner, Chadley crosses the ball in. The former Spurs man plays it straight to Joe Hart, who quickly kicks the ball forward towards Salvio here as he goes down this right hand side, takes on a Ribas here. Really good chance. He's got the pace to beat the number 24. Keeps on going down this right hand side. He's got a man man in the centre, but instead I go for goal myself, and the goalkeeper makes the save, and it's cleared away. So still West Brom 2, Sevilla 2, but in the 105th minute, just a couple of seconds before the half-time whistle was to be blown here in extra time, we played the ball forward towards Andy Carroll. He goes through one-on-one, and Big Andy makes it West Brom 3, Sevilla 2. So Carroll, who came off the bench after Sevilla scored their first goal in normal time, makes it 3-2. It's now his 5th goal of the start of the season. He's got off to a really good start here at the Hawthorns, and he does make it West Brom 3, Sevilla 2. So Carroll with the goal, very, very nice finish there. Did I just say the Hawthorns? Well, technically we are from the Hawthorns, but we are playing in a neutral ground here. But still, it's West Brom 3, Sevilla 2, and the game is sealed. So very pleased to win the game. I mean, it was just such a frustrating one because we played so much better than Sevilla. We had so many chances, and to throw it away with 10 minutes to go and go to extra time was just so poor. I mean, I knew that we were probably going to go ahead and win the game in extra time, or if not in penalties, because we've only lost one penalty shootout during the series. But even so annoying to throw that away. That's just completely unlike us, you know. Especially after last season, how good we were at closing out games. But at the end of the day, we got the trophy. We win it for a second successive season. Carlos Zambrano lifts it, and the game does finish West Bromwich Albion 3, Sevilla 2. So glad to add another trophy to our collection there, and that is the second time we've now won that trophy. And it was then time for the deadline day part of transfer deadline day, and as you can see, Salvio did get sold to Manchester United for £30 million. So I was okay with that. I didn't mind. It was a decent fee, I felt, for a backup winger. And following that, we put in bids for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, now at Real Madrid, and also Raheem Sterling, still at Liverpool. And we'll wait and see what Carlo Ancelotti and Brendan Rodgers say about these two transfers for their players. And we also put in bids for Dani Carvajal at Real Madrid. I just thought maybe to get another sort of solid right back in, and maybe push Walcott out to play right midfield, not too sure. Put in a bid for Carvajal at Real Madrid, Eric Lamela at Spurs, who else? Deulofeu at Barcelona, also Aubameyang at Borussia Dortmund, Pedro also at Barcelona, trying to remember everyone. And there was one more I put a bid in for, but I'm not too sure who it was. You'll see in a minute anyway. Just because, you know, we have £30 million now, well, 25 million after the board take a little bit of a cut from the fee. And I would like a backup winger, because we don't even need to sign another one. We don't have to, but I thought we may as well, you know what I mean? We may as well spend this money, because as we're most likely going to be leaving in about 5-6 months' time, we may as well just use up all the money here whilst we still can. Bonaventura, there you go, that was the other one. And there you go. So Inter Milan coming for Salif Sane, our centre-back. The chief executive said we could possibly get 37 to 55 million for him, so I said, okay, give us 55 million and we'll wait and see. And also loads of rejects for those players we put in bids for, but Barcelona did indeed accept a £16 million bid for Pedro, and also a £12 million bid for Deulofeu. Now, I didn't have a scout report on Deulofeu, so I didn't know how good he was, but Pedro is an 86 rated winger, and I know he's 31 years old, but again, it meets our objective of signing those more experienced players, doing something different this season, as opposed to signing those young players of high potential. So, £16 million for an 86 rated winger, that to me is a pretty decent deal. As you can see, Sane is going nowhere, as Inter Milan would only give us £17 million. So Pedro is going to come in after he accepts his contract for £16 million. And to me, again, I know what you're saying, Salvio is years younger and he's only 3 ratings lower, and you know there was no real need to sell him, but again, I thought £30 million was a great fee, and Pedro, those stats there, absolutely crazy. So to me, again, if we're only going to be here for a few months, we might as well sign some of those best players in the world, use them at their peak, and spend all the money we currently had at our disposal. So Pedro comes in, and I feel as though that fee at £16 million was totally fair. But Fraser Forster isn't going to join us. For the last time, I put in a bid to see if we could get the Southampton goalkeeper, plus Kim Seung-gyu, but they just weren't having it. Ronald Koeman said, just go away, we're not interested. So there you go. And that did indeed end transfer deadline day. You could see there as well, so many players on the transfer list and the loan list, but unfortunately for us, we just couldn't loan them out or sell them. I don't know why it's so hard for me to loan players and sell players, but it really is. But still, following that, transfer deadline day ended. Biggest moves, Lacazette to PSG, Salvio to United, and Benteke to Everton. So 2 of those 3 players were owned by us and left the club. But there you go. That did indeed officially end transfer deadline day. It was a very, very, very productive window. So many players going out and coming in. So much money spent. And for the first time as well, I think we accumulated more money than we actually spent during during this series. So there you go. And following that, a U-Score monthly report. As you can see, players looking pretty decent here. Before we leave, I would definitely make a point of promoting Jed Flint and also Lorenzo Valziani, because those two players look very, very decent. And also to end the episode off, we have a squad report. As you can see how the players are doing. Joe Hart now an 88 rated goalkeeper. What a signing that was. Kyle Walker, by the way, is back to an 80 rated right back. Have no idea why he dropped down to a 79 at the start of the season, but he's now back to an 80, which is always nice. And the whole team is looking great. Mauricio's now an 82, Vestergaard 80, Zambrano's 84. The whole team is just looking absolutely incredible. There isn't a weak link here. The whole team is strong, strength in depth, squad is amazing, and there's just no reason to... there's no reason to make any more transfers here if we are going to stay, which again, we possibly could do. You guys can vote to keep me here by the time a new club comes in for us. So yeah, there's no real need to make any changes to this team, but it's so good. And regardless of what happens as well, if we do leave West Bromwich Albion, which we probably most likely will, as Niang's an 84 now, very nice to see, at least you can say we've left them with an incredible squad, an amazing first team, a fantastic squad in strength and depth, and also a load of good young kids to develop as well. So we have done an amazing job here at the Hawthorns, and here's a look at the league table as well. And to end the episode off, you'll see our Champions League Group 2. We've got Wolfsburg, Anderlecht, and also Copenhagen. So pretty decent Champions League draw in the end. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really do hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, as it is much appreciated and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.